Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the TGIF version of Today in Sports Betting. As always, I am joined by my co-host with the most. He is the one, the only. He is Scott Reichel. Scott, how are you, buddy?
Doing pretty well. I'm kind of happy that both NBA games were competitive. Unfortunately, the Lakers game was a little bit too competitive, if you know what I mean. But as a whole, I won my first basketball bet on the Utah Jazz live bet -1.5, and they won by 2. So basketball back in full swing.
Very good. Yeah, the Pelicans are just not quite a four-quarter team, man. They've had some spurts where they play good basketball, but they're young and they're.
You weren't thrilled with Zion having a minutes restriction following couple months off, and I know that he ended up leaving the bubble and coming back, but you really couldn't have found a way to play him in those final 3 minutes?
Oh man, you know what? I think we're going to have plenty of time to talk about in NBA coaching. So
I thought Vogel did a terrible job last night, if I'm being honest, but I don't think that was the one thing that I thought was funny. I'm not going to go too far into what happened yesterday because we got a lot on the slate. But you weren't impressed by the Lakers being up 3 with 45 seconds to go, calling a play for Danny Green?
Sigh.
What are we doing here?
I was impressed with the Lakers being up 11 in the first half and not being able to close out the deal. So,
technically they closed out the deal, but it definitely was.
Not what my betting slip said.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult than it should have been. But I feel like calling plays for Danny Green off a timeout is probably not the best move.
Are you trying to fool him? Is that the deal?
I don't know. But Vogel had a lot of questionable decisions there that I thought he really did not coach a good game.
Not sure what these guys have been doing since the middle of March there, but It doesn't look like they've been boning up on their coaching. So Scott, this is the first kind of this is our initial, I don't know, Today in Sports Betting version 2.0. Is that about right? We're kind of changing gears here a little bit. We're going to make this a daily prediction and betting show. So today is the first one. We're going to try to make it through all the NBA games and all the MLB games. So just a heads up to everybody. Some of them, they won't be long. We're just going to give them kind of our leans, our feelings, whatever. But we're going to try to rip it through here about give or take 20 games or so. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we get out of here in, I don't know, under 40. Fingers crossed.
Sure.
Fingers crossed,
sure, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Speaking of big leads that they blew, how did Skype have an 11-year head start and lose to Zoom?
It's an excellent question. I feel like Skype blew a 3-1 series lead in that one.
I'm not gonna lie, they had us down first.
The first half of the 20 teens.
Yeah.
It didn't really work out in the end.
Yeah, Zoom ended up crushing them, so it ended up being an easy victory for Zoom. So we saw that coming. Anyway, hopefully people that had Zoom as far as their stock goes. So, anywho, let's get going, Scott. We got a day game today, so we got to shake a tail feather here. Let's talk about this one. This is I know you've been excited about this one for a long time, and there actually may be some value here as Orlando. Can we say travels to Brooklyn's home court?
Orlando travels to the neutral site court in Orlando for a road game.
Right, and Orlando will be the road team here, and Orlando's 7-point favorite. Scott, anything to like about these Brooklyn Nets? I know you and I have been talking a little bit off the air about this one.
Well, my play of the day revolved around this game, so if you want to check out my thoughts in more detail, you can check out the video on Winners and Whiners. The Nets projected lineup: Chiozza, LeVert, Harris, Kurucs, Allen. If that was the start of the season, you're winning about 7 games. It is what it is. I like Chiozza as a player, but he's not a starter in the league. LeVert's good. Joe Harris can shoot. Kurucs is mediocre. And Jared Allen's a decent rim protector. Gets in foul trouble with no offensive talent. I don't know how the Nets are going to score.
You know, this Orlando team was pretty much the gold standard for defense for about the first 2.5 months in the NBA, and kind of started falling apart.
Jonathan Isaac got injured, but he's projected to be back for this game, so that should help defensively.
Yeah, that should be a big help. I'm going to go ahead and do it, dude. We talk about this maybe being a sucker line, but I can't go with the Nets. I'm going to I got to go with Orlando here, minus the 7 points.
Yeah, I feel like honestly I could just say it because I already made the video like 8 hours ago. I have a 2-pick parlay. The first pick was Magic money line.
Okay.
I wanted to cut out the spread in there, but in reality, I can't take the Nets to win this game. They might keep it more competitive than people think because the Nets tend to play Orlando competitively. On paper, this is borderline a G League roster.
So you played the money line. What'd you get at Orlando? I got it at minus 310. How'd you do? Would you do better?
I ended up getting it last night at, I believe, minus 286.
Okay.
I put in a 2-pick, so the 2-pick ended up being minus 120. But I believe it was minus 286 on DraftKings last night.
All right, yeah. So you're going to go ahead and stick with your parlay. I'm going to play Orlando minus 7 right there.
Okay.
Moving on, we've got a game there between Memphis and Portland. Two teams that probably will not be around long and vying for the championship. Portland, as it stands right now, is a 3-point favorite over the Grizz, and they are allegedly the home team here. Scott, your feelings on that?
If I had to lean anywhere, I'd lean to Portland. The question that I have is I'm not sure if Lillard's going to be at a minute restriction because he ended up getting injured towards the back half of the season before the layoff. I'm assuming not because Portland's going to need to win some games in order to make it to the play-in round, and realistically, they're going to need Lillard to turn into Damian Lillard once again. So if I had to guess, I know that they're a healthier team because Nurkic is back and Zach Collins is back. I kind of like the front court depth. I'll lean to the Trailblazers there because they open up as a 1-point favorite, now up to 3. So I feel like people are kind of counting out this Grizzlies team probably more than they should because I do like this team. But Portland at full strength, I think, is the more talented overall roster.
Does it mean anything to you that Portland really doesn't want to be here?
I think they didn't want to be there at first. I mean, Lillard said he didn't want to be there until there was a shot for them to actually make the playoffs. And now there's a shot for them to make the playoffs. So I think that was more of the fact that they didn't want to be there because they weren't sure how the framework would be set up to make the playoffs. But now that it's somewhat feasible, I think they'll be motivated for this game.
Okay, kind of like LeBron saying that no way was he going to play in front of no fans.
Correct. And then you kind of just realize, well, I don't really have a choice. So let's play this out.
Smash cut to LeBron playing last night. Okay, so we're both on board with Portland here. Okay, now here's another eminently fadeable team, and it's again another 7-point line as Phoenix travels to take on the Washington Wizards. Phoenix is 7-point favorite here. Scott, you and I again have talked a lot off air about this, about how much we absolutely despise the Wizards.
This was the second leg of my parlay.
Yeah,
so I took the Suns money line, put it with the Magic money line.
Absolutely no talent that they're going to be able to. No NBA talent they're going to be able to put forth there. So I've got them on the money line at minus 300. Is that kind of in the neighborhood where you got them as well?
Ballpark. I believe last night it was around minus 275. I think whatever pays out to minus 120 with a minus 286 money line in there. That's what it was because that's what DraftKings had that 2-pick last night. It's pretty interesting though with the totals. Went from 230 to 223. So people are thinking, the Wizards are terrible. They can't play defense. That's correct. But Bradley Beal's also their best scorer. And he's also arguably their worst defender. So you have to wonder if there's a reason why this point total has dropped roughly 7 points since the news that Bradley Beal and Bertans dropped out. And I think that if you're going to take the over, you just should take the Suns team total over. Because this Wizards offense, I understand that they're going to have Shabazz Napier as their starting point guard, potentially shooting 20-something times. This team's offense is going to be terrible. The only reason why you're taking the over is based on the pace of play. And I think at that point, you're just better off taking the other team total.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about that in relation to baseball, about how you can take individual team total overs and kind of get rid of some of your question marks if you have an offense like that where you're not sure how they're going to perform, or if you have more confidence in one versus another. So
even with Beal, who's a terrible defender, being out, in reality, this team can't guard anybody anyway. So I think that with the pace, with Rubio, with Booker, with Ayton, even off the bench, you still have some decent options like Kaminsky, potentially Aaron Baines, but I'm not sure if he's going to be playing or not. The Suns can easily score 120 in this game, and I feel like nobody would be surprised.
Yeah, I'm thinking I got Phoenix minus 7 right there. So what's your official play? You went Phoenix?
It's my 2-pick parlay. I got the Magic money line and the Suns money line.
Okay, good. All right. Hey, now we have a game between two actual competent NBA teams. Is Boston takes on Milwaukee. Milwaukee's the designated home team here. A Bucks 5-point favorite. Scott, I'm gonna go for my first upset here. I'm gonna take Boston plus the 5 points. I think they match up well with this Bucks squad. They're familiar with them, and I think they're going to give them. Surprisingly, I think they're going to give them all they want. I think they're going to survive the onslaught. I'm sure the Bucks will be up double digits at some point, but I think Boston is going to be able to hang tough in the end and get enough stops to keep this one close.
So we're on the same page so far. This is my first bold call. I got the Celtics on the money line for this game.
Wow.
A couple reasons why. Main reason, Milwaukee's not at full strength. They're going to be missing Connaughton and Eric Bledsoe, who are both going to miss this game due to recovering from COVID and all that stuff. So they're trying to get back, into the swing of things. So they're not going to play. Bledsoe I've never been a big fan of, but he has been very good this season, and he is also one of their best on-ball defenders. The issue with the Celtics is that Kemba Walker is a bit of a knee issue right now. So you have to wonder if he's going to be on a minutes restriction. But in reality, I think perimeter-wise, defensively, if you have Bledsoe out, Connaughton's a pretty good bench player. I know DiVincenzo's going to get probably more run and potentially the starting point position. But I feel like they're not going to be able to guard many people on the Boston's perimeter. And even though Boston's going to be missing Kemba Walker playing 30-something minutes, he'll play 20-something, I still have faith in Tatum, Brown, and all these other guys to potentially pick up the slack offensively. Yep. Hayward's been the biggest question mark for this team. I think he's the biggest X factor for the Celtics because he either looks really good or really bad with pretty much no in-between. But I also think Brad Stevens is the better coach than Budenholzer. So if I really had to break it down, at full strength, I'd probably lean to Milwaukee. But I think Bledsoe being out is a bigger deal than people are making it out to be. So I think that it would not surprise me if the Celtics potentially win this game outright.
Yeah, and this is a Boston team that's used to playing with Hayward less than 100%. And I think they're able to make that adjustment even if he's not completely up to his normal standards. So yeah, I'll go the easy way. I'll just take Boston in the points.
I'm probably not going to play it, but for value alone, I mean, it's already gone from -5 to -4.5. So I think if you want to take the Celtics money line or the points, probably do so now because I expect to see more Boston money closer to tip.
I agree, and I've still got him at 5 on Bet Online, so I'm locking that up as we speak.
Question: what's the money line on that?
I think 175. Yeah, 175. What do you have it?
Roughly around the same. That's why I was curious.
All right, back to the West. Scott, Sacktown versus San Antonio Spurs. Pop back doing what he does. Sacramento 2.5-point favorite. Give me some thoughts here.
For me, I feel like there's two ways to lean for this game. I like the Kings and I like the over. The over's gone from 216.5 to 221. I still think that's too low. The thing about San Antonio, people talk about how slowly they play because of Popovich and all that stuff. Aldridge is out for the year, and he's one of their premium, slow the pace, give him the ball in the paint, let him back somebody down for 10 seconds on the shot clock. So now that he's out, you're going to be seeing the Spurs probably go smaller. I think they're going to be a lot of fast break opportunities for both teams. And with Aldridge out, I think the Kings just have a better overall roster. I know that Marvin Bagley's out, but with Holmes and I'm drawing a blank on his name. Belixa? I forgot how to pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about. But either or, I don't think the Spurs are going to be able to do much on the boards without Aldridge in the game. So I'd have to lean to the Kings there because the Spurs were already pretty underwhelming to begin with.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I think this team is not a team that's used to playing without Aldridge. That's not the style they want to play. I think going up and down the court is going to benefit Sacramento. I'll take the Kings there again. Yeah, -2.5. And last game of the night on the NBA slate, Scott, is Houston at Dallas. This should be the most competitive game. At least that's what the bookmakers say, as Dallas is a small 1-point favorite. I like a lot of things about this Dallas squad. They're a little inconsistent. They're young, but when they get their two bell cows rocking and rolling there, they are very, very hard to beat. I'm going to see what they got, but for now, I'm going to go with Houston. I'm going to go with Dallas -1. Sorry.
We're on the same page here. Simply put, I do like this Dallas team, but in reality, I'm not sure why they're a 2-point favorite in the spot against Houston. It's just a matter of the fact that besides Doncic and Porzingis, I'm not really a big fan of the depth on this team. I think it's okay. I mean, you can make the argument Tim Hardaway Jr. is a decent shooting guard. Okay. I mean, he's serviceable, I guess. The Rockets just play such a unique style of basketball when it comes to playing small that I just think it's going to be a matchup nightmare for Porzingis. I know that he's a great rim protector, etc., but the Rockets are just going to force him to pick and choose his poison between stopping the drives and trying to get out to the corner for the threes to play defense. I think it's going to be a pretty long night for Porzingis on the defensive end, and Doncic isn't that great of a defender in the first place. So I think this will be a high-scoring game. I trust Harden and Westbrook a little bit more than Doncic and Porzingis at this stage in their careers. I'll lean to Houston.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Westbrook's out?
That's news to me. Is he actually? Is he still out?
Westbrook have the COVID?
No, I thought he was back. According to some projected lineups, I see Westbrook in the starting lineup.
Westbrook in? Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's in. Yeah, he played in the scrimmage.
Okay. All right. I thought he was. I
don't know if he's going to be on a minutes restriction, but he's definitely playing.
I thought his 2 weeks were not up yet. Okay. All right. Very good.
I just don't get the line there. I think if you can make the argument if Dallas was maybe a 4-point underdog or so, maybe I'd make a play there. But I don't know how they're favored in this game. Am I missing something?
Well, I think the books were really down on Houston because they're so inconsistent. It's just it's Harden, and that's
every team's going to be inconsistent now because you had the long layoff. So I think Houston on paper is the better team.
Well, I think they were inconsistent going in. I think it's a pretty legit line. And obviously the money's coming in on Dallas because it was -1 yesterday. So
I like the Dallas team. It's just a matter of I think Houston's better at full strength. And I mean, what's Dallas's lineup? We're gonna have Porzingis and Maxi Kleber as your big men. I mean, I just think Houston's gonna spread them out. If they hit threes, they'll win. If they miss, they'll lose. So I just think that Houston's gonna do what they normally do, which is make teams look lost defensively. And I expect that to happen.
All right, so that's the first one we disagree on. You're taking Houston in the points. I've got Dallas -2 there.
I probably would wait for an in-game live bet if I really wanted to, because I feel like that game's going to have a decent amount of swings.
I agree. Yeah, I think there'll be double-digit leads there for both teams, quite possibly.
Yep.
Okay, very good. How about some baseball?
Well, sounds good to me.
All right, let's start off with the game there in the East as the Rays travel to Baltimore, take on the Orioles. Snell goes against Tommy Malone. Rays -197, Orioles +180, 110 is your total there. Scott, I have a couple of rules. One of them is fade Tommy Malone whenever possible. Having Blake Snell as the starter opposing him is a bonus to me.
Are you sure Are you sure that it's Malone? Because I see on ESPN it's Alex Cobb.
Did they change it?
They could have changed it, but I see Alex Cobb here for the projected starter.
I did these last night, bud. So let me take a look here.
That's fine. Nothing's been confirmed yet, of course, but I'm pretty sure Alex Cobb's going to be starting.
You're right. Cobb is the replacement there. What does that change the price? Not much, actually.
Cobb did perform really well, and I don't know about a potential personal revenge spot, but he used to be a member of the Rays, but that was a couple of years ago. You can't take Baltimore. I mean, let's be real. They just blew another ninth-inning lead to the Yankees. They performed well against the Red Sox earlier in the first series, but in reality, I know Tampa is going to be motivated to get a win back after dropping yesterday's game against Atlanta. Dropping the last two against Atlanta, I should say. So I guess if I had to lean anywhere, I'd lean to the Rays -1.5, but I'm just going to pass.
Yeah, that's what I was going to. That's what I was actually going to play when it was Malone. Cobb actually looked good in his first time out. Snell struggled a little bit, but I don't see any way you can play against this. My lean's going to be the run line on this one as well, and I've got that at -123. So it's changed slightly. It was -128 with Malone. I got to tell you, not having any recognition between Alex Cobb and Tommy Malone, I don't care for that.
Surprising to me.
Well, yeah, I agree. Because like I said, Cobb looked good first time out. I'm sure they want to see him repeat that. But yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go with the Rays. Rays scoring some runs, Scott. That's the kind of the surprising thing in all of this.
Yeah, people might be upset that the Rays, come into this game on a 2-game losing streak. In their defense, they played the Braves on the road.
Right.
You sweep the Braves at home, you lose both on the road. It's the Braves. I mean, this is the Orioles we're talking about. Tampa should take care of business.
Yeah, and they are the top scoring team in the American League right now. So I'll take that to continue. Give me a run line -123.
You're not impressed by Baltimore's combined 7.16 ERA going into this game?
It's about where I thought it would be. Does that count?
It's fair enough. Somehow Seattle's is worse right now. I think Seattle's is north of 8. But yeah, it's not good.
Good times. Yeah, that doesn't even have the Royals involved yet. Wait till their pitching shows up.
Look at them, though. They won yesterday.
I know. Okay, Scott, here it is. I hope this one's on TV. It's the Red Sox and Yankees. God, this is the kind of thing that people in the Midwest hate. It's you see them hyping this game on ESPN. It's the Red Sox and Yankees. Like, yeah, okay. That would have been a great game 3 years ago, but unfortunately it's this year. Yankees -2 Scotty, against the Red Sox. Actually, that's come down a little bit. I've got it at -175 plus 161. How about that?
Oh, that's what I see it at right now.
All right.
Truth is, if I was going to play this, I would probably lean to the total instead. I'd look to the over in this game as opposed to taking the Yankees in this spot. As well as the Yankees, have looked in comparison to the Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox did win the last 2 games of the series against the Mets. Believe it or not, the Yankees actually had to do more traveling for this game than the Red Sox did because the Red Sox just finished playing in Citi Field. So they're already in New York.
Right.
They had to play in Baltimore. The game was also prolonged with about an hour and a half of rain delay. So they finished the game late last night, have to travel back to New York. Boston's already in New York. So I'm not really interested in playing the Yankees on the money line. However, Ryan Weber's terrible. Montgomery looked really good in the scrimmages, but he hasn't actually pitched yet in a regular season game in over a year. So I think he'll probably be on an innings limit. And for that reason, I'm going to lean to the over 10.5 here because I think both offenses could be poised for some pretty big afternoons.
That's the same play that I have. I've got the over 10.5 in this one. I have no confidence in Weber. We'll see what happens.
Plus, you got the 5-5 extra inning draw, which always is attractive.
You got the what?
5-5 extra innings draw for the 10.5.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like playing overs off of even numbers, buddy. I got to be honest with you. Give me the 8, 8.5, 10, 10.5 anytime. So, All right. How about a little battle of central teams there as the Reds visit the Tigers. Reds -173, Tigers 161.9 is your number there. Trevor Bauer against Spencer Turnbull.
I might have switched the pitchers again because I have Castillo listed, but I'm going to check that. Truth is, Castillo and Bauer, I know Castillo's better. I think it is Castillo getting the start. Really not much of a downgrade if it would have been Bauer hypothetically, but I'm pretty sure it's Luis Castillo right now.
Yeah, you're right. I do have that. Man, I did these late last night. It's not like I did them, on Wednesday morning.
Well, you've also had some teams with days off and some teams with rain delays and some teams with some other stuff, so you can kind of shuffle around the pitching rotation.
Yeah, I know Castillo was bumped back a day too. So
yeah, like for example, the Yankees have already played 5 games. Tanaka hasn't pitched yet because they literally already used Garrett Cole twice because they had a couple games canceled against Philly. So. Right.
Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Castillo. I think this is the best pitcher that probably nobody's ever heard of. Toiling in anonymity there in Great American Ballpark. I like the under in this one. I think Turnbull is serviceable. At least he had a nice first start. Tigers, under the best of circumstances, are going to struggle to score runs. I don't see him putting up north of 2 in this one. I'd be tempted to play the team total under here too, Scott.
The truth is, this game has me torn a little bit. I would lean to Cincinnati winning, of course, but this is the second time that these pitchers have faced these lineups already this season. Do you think that the offense will look a little bit more comfortable against their stuff, or no?
No, I don't. I
think it's worth mentioning.
Perhaps. But it also gives the pitchers an opportunity to exploit weaknesses, to see some film on the hitters as well. I think that's a push. I'm playing under 9 here.
If I had to lean anywhere, I'd probably lean to the Reds -1.5, which is a pretty public, chalky play. But Cincinnati, I know
Well,
that
it
they
really-
lost the first series against the Tigers, and if you lose a series against the Tigers, you might have to contemplate forfeiting the franchise. So I got to assume they're going to be very motivated for this game. I know that sounds cliched. You don't think motivation is going to play a factor after they literally lost at home 2-3 to Detroit?
Yeah, and
I think they might circle this game a little bit for motivation.
well, in Cincinnati, they're 2-4 as a team that doesn't want to get buried. You can't just have those 5-game losing streaks and still be competitive with this 60-game format.
I'd feel better if Moustakas was in the lineup, but of course he's dealing with some COVID stuff, so he's not.
Right.
But I really think that, especially after pretty much only playing 2 games, 2 teams up to this point, losing 2 out of 3 to Detroit, you're probably going to be motivated to get the job done the second time around.
Yeah, I agree. To me, there's just not enough value on the run line. Minus 173, you're only getting minus 126 on the run line. Picking up 50 cents of value on that 1.5. That's not enough for me.
Yeah, it's not great. That's fair.
So I'm gonna play the under 9 here, and hopefully the Tigers will not do much at all. 3.5 is their team total. Don't hate that either. If you want to play the under 3.5 for the Tigers.
If I was going to play it, I'd probably do the first 5 team total under, because the Reds bullpen is, I'd say, mediocre at best.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you can get that, if you have a book,
it's offshore mostly, but
let's play first. Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously.
In reality, if you're taking the Reds, it's because Castillo's on the mound. I mean, let's be real. So,
no question about it.
Yep.
Let's talk about the other team there in New York, Scott, as the Metropolitans traveled.
Yes, we got a rematch of the really, really awful Sunday Night Baseball pitching matchup. Aren't you excited?
Porcello and Sean Newcomb.
I feel like we just did this and the Braves won by 13 runs. But, Braves are only minus 130. So based on that, I don't know how you don't take the Braves.
Yeah, I've got the Braves at minus 127 right now.
I feel like you kind of have to take the Braves there.
Absolutely.
We literally just did this.
Let me tell you, I have a couple of rules, and one of them is always fade Rick Porcello.
I don't know how he has a Cy Young award.
He's been trash. He was trash with Boston for most of the time that he was there. He was trash in his first start. I see no reason he's not going to be trash in this one as well.
I'm not a fan of Newcomb, but in reality, I think Newcomb's better than Porcello. So
he looked good.
Even if the Braves, let's just say the Braves go easy on Porcello and only score 7 runs tonight,
right?
They'll probably still win the game.
I like Sean Newcomb.
He has some control issues. His stuff's pretty good, but he can't find the strike zone half the time.
You're right. I probably like him better out of the pen. They had him on a short one in his opening game. He went just 3 1/3, gave up three hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and I was trying to see.
The Mets really blew some games against the Red Sox over the last couple of days. It was really bad.
Yeah, and
they had a couple bases loaded situations. They only scored 1 run, couldn't capitalize. And Boston's bullpen's terrible. Workman, I believe, pitched 3 straight games and threw 30 pitches in each game, or 20 plus, and the Mets still couldn't win any of those last 2 games.
Don't call him Workman for nothing.
I'm surprised his arm didn't fall off, but I don't know how the Mets went down basically 1-2-3. Was it 1-2-3 or no? Nimmo singled. It was like 1-2-4. But really, the Red Sox are going to throw in the same pitcher for the 3rd straight day after throwing 40 pitches the day before, and you can't put any runs on the board?
Can't do it.
I don't know, man.
You on Atlanta there as well?
I'm on Atlanta. I can't not take them. They literally just played and they won by 13 runs.
Okay, good. My hometown team here, Kansas City Royals, with their home opener.
They're going back to 500. That's what they're looking for.
Right down the street from me, 3-4 as they picked up the victory yesterday. Firing up against the White Sox, Scott. The White Sox, that was supposed to be America's darling this year. And
it doesn't help when you play the Twins in the first series of the year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out well for the White Sox. They are sitting just 2-4, and that is solidly in last place there in the Central. But they are the favorite here as they send Dallas Keuchel to the mound against first-time starter Chris Bubik for the Kansas City Royals. White Sox minus 158. Anything to like here about the Royals at all, Scott? 9.5 is a total, by the way.
So I actually wrote an article about this game for winnersandwiners.com. If you want to check that out, you can for a deeper breakdown. For this one, I like the White Sox team total over. Simply put, Bubik might be talented. He's never pitched above Class A ball.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to have any faith in him in the start.
I
The White Sox, even though they haven't played well, their lineup's still really good on paper. So it's just a matter of the White Sox have the likes of Moncada. They got Abreu. Robert's looked really good. They got a lot of pieces here, and I just think that even if Bubik pitches well, is he going to be on a pitch count? Are they going to pull him if he gets into trouble early, 3 innings in, and rely on the bullpen the rest of the way? I think it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yes and yes. Yes. I would be surprised to see Bubik pitch into the 5th.
Yeah, I was going to say I think he'll go into the 4th, maybe, give or take. And
yeah.
I think he's going to struggle.
Unless he is just absolutely mowing him down and his pitch count is low. I don't think he comes out for the 5th. So then you
go
get
from Class A ball to the majors.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the White Sox team total over. And if the guy burns me, he burns me. But I don't know how I'm not supposed to take the White Sox team total over. They also had a day off yesterday for travel purposes, so that should help out.
So you're going to take White Sox over 5.5.
What's the plus or minus on that?
Minus 105. So you're getting.
Considering the fact that the road team they're guaranteed 9 at bats, I'll take the over on that one.
Yeah, that's a solid play. I'm going to go ahead and just take the White Sox on the victory here, and that's gone down actually a little bit to minus 155. I had it at 158.
That's what the run line is on that.
The run line is
minus 110.
Minus 110 on each side, as a matter of fact, on the run line. Yeah, kind of a little anomaly there.
Yes, I'm going to pass on that one. I'll take the team total over.
Okay, fair enough. All right, moving on to the other game there in the American League Central. Indians head to the Twin Cities to take on the Twins. Indians minus 119, small favorite, plus 109 for the Twins. 9 is your total here. That long-haired hippie Mike Clevenger goes for the Indians against Randy Dobnik, who sounds like the kid that ran the AV club in high school. And if you look at it, he looks like the kid that ran the AV club in high school.
AV clubs were a little bit before my time in high school, but I'll take your word for it.
They didn't have AV clubs?
Not in my school.
Really?
No, we didn't have those.
Okay. Clevenger wasn't all that good against the Royals, and that is something that you never want to hear anybody say. On the other hand,
wait, Clevenger?
What's that?
He went 7 innings.
Yeah, but he struggled. He wasn't.
He might have been fully sharp, but he only has a 2.57 ERA. It wasn't
he gave up the back-to-back home runs, but he was kind of he kind of had a lot of atom balls that were hit hard against him, and I wasn't impressed with firing against the Royals. Yeah,
okay. I'm just saying overall numbers wise, he wasn't.
His stat line looks good. He gave up just 4 hits in no walks. But of course, giving up no walks to the Royals, that really doesn't tell you anything. This team walks the least amount of anyone in Major League Baseball consistently, and they're off to that same start again this year. They just refuse to take a walk. Yeah.
It's really tough because I like Clevenger a lot more than I like Dobnik, but in reality, I can't really go against Minnesota as an underdog. They're just too talented.
No, and Dobnik was acceptable his first time out. He
went 4 innings, so you're not really looking for a massive innings eater here. But the offense for Minnesota, I know they got shut down yesterday. I got to take a second to acknowledge how good Shane Bieber is. He's just so good. He's the first starter in MLB history to have his first 2 starts in a season have 13 strikeouts or more. He's the front runner to win the AL Cy Young. He's that good. So I'm not going to read much into yesterday. Minnesota should not be really an underdog to anybody at home. I have to lean to Minnesota.
I agree. I'm taking the value there. Give me the Twins plus 109 at home. You're not going to have that very often, and that's a situational play for me. Anytime you're catching the Twins at plus money at home, that's pretty much an auto play for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're on the same page there.
All right, heading to the mountains, Scott. Padres coming to town against the Rockies. Rockies minus 120, Padres plus 110. 11.5 is your Coors Field total there. Garrett Richards gets the call for the Pods against John Gray for the Colorado Rockies. Scott, what do you feel about this one?
Truth is, it's not a great spot for the Padres because they had an extra innings game where they couldn't stop scoring in the 10th inning, and the game ended I believe north of 1 a.m. Eastern time. Game was pretty
Actually,
long.
I was watching a little bit of that late last night. I watched a little bit of that 10th inning, and yeah,
They just brought the side armor in. He gave up about 6 straight base runners. They didn't take him out of the game. I wasn't really sure what they were doing. Shout out to Gabe Kapler. But for the most part, first game at Coors Field this season. The wind's blowing in, though. So I feel like that's kind of why you've seen a little bit of a dip from 11.5 to 11. Then again, this is a lean show. I'm not going to play this. But if I had to play this, I would probably lean to the over. But the wind blowing in is not exactly ideal for me.
Okay.
I have no interest in this game, though.
No, I thought I was kind of impressed with John Gray his first time out.
That's the point. I don't say that he's due for regression because I hate the phrase that he's due. But I've seen Gray against the Padres before. I've seen Gray at Coors Field before. Not usually a marriage made in heaven.
I think they may have got some of his problems worked out, and I'm going to confidently lean towards the Rockies here, minus 120.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a big lean there. What is that, like a 70-degree lean?
Yeah, it's about a 60-degree lean.
Okay, not bad.
National League Central, Pirates, Cubs. Cubbies, minus 165.
Yeah, I'm just going to interrupt you there. Is there really any chance we're not taking the Cubs? I know that Darvish is pitching, so that actually kind of scares me a little bit. I feel a lot better about the over 9.
Now, see, I had Chatwood, so that's the odds have changed considerably here.
I prefer Chatwood over Darvish at this point because Darvish seems to implode at some point in every one of his starts. Over 9 seems like a good play to me because Pittsburgh's bullpen's atrocious. The Cubs' bullpen's atrocious. Both starting pitchers have an ERA over 6.7. I'll take the over 9 there.
What's the wind doing? You don't care?
Of course, if the wind it's blowing in pretty substantially, but it's more just the fact that I don't say I hate, but I distrust both starters. I distrust both bullpens and both lineups. Even though Pittsburgh isn't that great so far this season, their lineup's not bad. So I'll lean to the over. I really don't want to lay minus 200 with Darvish.
No, not a chance.
So I'll lean to the over 9, but the wind blowing in is not ideal. But both starters are so bad. Both bullpens are so bad. I can't take the under.
I think this is close to a 50-50 game. I'm gonna take the value play here. I'm gonna take the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 196. Fade Hugh Darvish. I have no confidence in Hugh Darvish at this point.
The truth is, if I was going to take the Pirates, I would probably take the first 5. Because I know the Cubs bullpen's bad, and I've said that before. I want no piece of this Pirates bullpen. This is one of the worst bullpens I've ever seen. It is actually that bad. If you watch the Brewers series at all, you'd know that. If you're going to take the Pirates, I would take the first 5.
Yeah, that's not a terrible play. Okay, all right. Now we'll see. I'm counting on them to have a big enough lead against Darvish to make up for their lack of any kind of competent bullpen. So.
And my point is that if you're going to worry about having a big lead against Darvish, you might as well just take him in the first 5.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think you're going to get him at plus 196 though. In the first.
No, you'll probably get plus 150 something. If you want to be safe, you could take the plus 0.5, which will probably be, I don't even know, minus 110, minus 115.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Astros Angels, American League West. Astros minus 165, Angels 152, 9.5 the total. The rejuvenated Lance McCullers goes for the Astros against Matt Andrees for the Angels.
Yeah, I would probably slam the Astros minus 1.5 because Trout's on paternity leave, so he's not playing.
Yep, I'm with you. And
plus, the Angels just got destroyed back-to-back games by the Mariners. This team can't pitch.
Yeah, that line has actually gone up a little bit. It's actually minus 172 now.
It's going to keep climbing because Trout's out. The pitching staff's terrible. Houston should be, I don't want to say motivated because they got destroyed by the Dodgers, but in reality, they're the much better team. They're guaranteed 9 at-bats. Astros minus 1.5 seems like the move here.
Play. I'm with you. I got minus 122 on the money line. I'll take that, even though it's not. Again, it's not tremendous value catching the run line from 172 to 122.
You know what the team total is for the Astros there? Like 5.5, like minus 120.
Yeah, it's gonna be 5.5, dude. 5.5 juiced over minus 122. Excuse me.
That's 120.
Juiced under. Sorry. Minus 108. Yeah, that's a good play.
I prefer that actually.
I don't hate that. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm still gonna take the
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll still stick with it with the run line, but yeah, there's a lot more value I think on the team total over there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Rangers Giants as I don't have that one on my. Oh yeah, there it is. Mike Minor goes for the Rangers against Logan Webb.
Is it Logan Webb? Because I see undecided. I've seen undecided for the last 12 hours. Giants just haven't announced who's pitching. It probably will be Logan Webb, but they just haven't announced it. I'm leaning Texas either way.
I still got it on StatFox as Logan Webb. So
okay, it could be. He pitched well in his first start. I'm taking Texas. They have a day off. They have Minor on the mound. Giants are coming off of an extra innings game where they burned half their bullpen. It's a pretty good spot for Texas.
Yeah, and actually the numbers come down. Prices come down a little bit on Texas. Minus 135. I think I'm going to go ahead and even play the. I'm going to play the run line here, Scott, plus 135.
For value, that's not bad. I know Texas has had issues hitting the ball, which has been concerning, but you're hoping that the 5-run outburst in the 8th inning against the Diamondbacks might have woken up the bats a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of Mike Minor is a really underrated pitcher, and the Giants' bullpen should be completely gassed.
Yeah, and they had to, and I was going to say they had to travel, but they did not. They're at home, but
the Rangers did. They had the day off yesterday, so they
right. Yeah, they actually had a travel day. So, All right, I'll take the run line there plus 135. Give me some value. Dodgers D-backs, Scotty. Dodgers minus 141. Diamondbacks plus 130. Tony Gonsolin goes for the Dodgers against Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. You know what? I like Zach Gallen quite a bit. I don't know if I like him against the Dodgers. How do you feel?
For me, I kind of feel the same way. I like Gallen more than I like Gonsolin. I'll lean to the over. I think both offense. I think Gallen could pitch decently well. I'm not a fan of Arizona's bullpen. And the Dodgers offense, they're a very difficult team to bet against. When it comes to betting against their offense, it's just so stacked. I'm going to take the over. I think both teams could score at least 4 or 5 runs in this game. I think this game will be pretty high scoring.
I don't love the Dodgers pen either, although they've performed okay this year. But yeah, and by the way, the Dodgers lead the majors in run differential at plus 20
already.
37 scored, 17 given up.
Hot take. I think that number's going to go up a little bit over the course of the season.
You think that gap will widen?
As it should. Last year, I don't remember what they had the biggest run differential last. I forgot what the run differential was, like 200 plus. 100.
A lot, yeah. It was substantial.
It was stupid at some point.
All right.
I'll lean over, but I'm not a big Gonsolin guy.
No, I'm not either. I'll take the. I'm just not
value on the Diamondbacks. I can't go against the Dodgers. That's the problem. Is that the Diamondbacks have just been so underwhelming to start the season. I just can't take them.
They've only scored 20 runs in 7 games.
It's not good.
I can't get anywhere near an over in that. Yeah, give me the value play. I'm gonna take the value at plus 130.
Okay.
I hate myself in the morning.
That's a game I'm not playing. I just a lean for the over.
Again, okay, yeah, and I will say I'm probably going to be nowhere near that either. I might make an in game if something goes south, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
bullpen gets involved earlier than it should be, but yeah, give me. I'm going to fade the best team in baseball. How's that working for you?
We'll find out.
Arizona plus 130. Last game, I believe, Scott, on the MLB slot as the Cardinals. We touched briefly on that. The Cardinals and who they playing? Milwaukee.
That game got postponed. I think you mean the Oakland Seattle game.
That's the one we're looking at. No, we didn't talk about the St. Louis COVID situation. Number of players test positive, and they're going to cancel. I guess it's going to be the entire weekend series, right?
It should be.
Again,
I got to assume they're going to treat it like the Phillies, and they're just going to shut down for the next four games or so, give or take. Not ideal.
Talk about the over/under when baseball's done.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. That's a disadvantage of doing this show a couple hours early. I'm a little grumpier.
It's all good.
All right, Scott. Last game on the board is the aforementioned Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners. Oakland minus 192, Seattle is plus 176.
This is one of my favorite plays on the board. I like the A's team total over.
Yeah, that's. I think that's going to be almost an auto play for me.
I don't know what the number is, but Seattle's given up at least 5 runs in every game. They gave up 5 runs yesterday, and Trout didn't even play.
It's got to be 5.5. Yeah, and it is.
No, I'm saying it's 5.5. I don't know what the minus is going to be.
Dude, you're getting value. Minus 105
all day.
Yeah,
all day to the bank.
Yeah, I'm with you there. If you don't have a book that offers team totals for baseball, you need to get one because we're going to be doing a lot of team totals.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing a lot of team totals. We're going to be doing a lot of first fives. So, yeah, kind of spoiler alert. Because you know why? Because that's where the value is.
Yep.
That is absolutely I have far more confidence in the A's to score over 5.5 than I do the Mariners to score over 3.5. This is
I thought about that as my play of the day yesterday before I ended up doing the basketball parlay. But I looked at that game, and I couldn't do it because I didn't know what the wind was and I wasn't sure what the lineups were. So it's really tough to do an overnight,
right,
small line without actually knowing who's going to be playing. As far as I know, everyone from Oakland's healthy. So they should be going with their normal lineup, et cetera. It's kind of struggled a little bit so far this season. But I think a trip to Seattle is everything you need in order to fix the bats.
Yes, I think I think Seattle's going to be good for what ails you as far as that struggling Oakland offense. They have been struggling to score runs, even though they are. Nobody's above 500 in the American League West. That's kind of a surprising development. As the A's have scored just 21 runs in 6 games.
I don't know how you can have 7 games and give up at least 5 runs in every game, and then give out team totals of 5.5 at minus 105.
I know.
That's my favorite play on the card tonight.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because Seattle's given up 51 runs in 7 games.
Yes, that's not good.
7.3 runs per game, whatever that would come out. Yeah. So
is that your favorite play on the card? Because that's my favorite play on the card. Minus 105 is such a treat, and the wind's blowing out dead to center about 8 miles an hour. I can't say no to that. Walker was terrible in his first start. Seattle's bullpen's atrocious.
I've got to, Scotty. I've got to go with my fading my hometown team as my favorite play.
The White Sox team total over is also one of my favorit plays, but
and I'm just taking them straight up minus 155. This is certainly my second favorite play on the board. I'm just a little worried about that offense from Oakland that hasn't got really rolling yet. That's
fair. I'm kind of just selling. I don't even know if there's any stock left on Walker as a pitcher, but
yes, it's Sean. By the way, it is Sean Manaea against Taijuan Walker is your pitching matchup there. We didn't touch that.
Yeah, the fact that once again Oakland's the road team, so you feel better about taking the team total at 5.5. Until I actually see Seattle pitch decently well for 9 innings, I'm going to keep taking the team total overs for their opposition.
Scott, you and I talked briefly in our baseball tutorial about why that makes a difference and why you want to take a team total with a visiting team more than you do with a home team. Why is that, real briefly?
That's because you're automatically batting in the 9th inning.
Automatically betting in the 9th inning, you're guaranteed 9 at bat. So that is exactly correct, my friend. So I'm going to go with you there as far as the A's team total. Because the Mariners, at the end of the day, they've still been scoring runs.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We should take them out of the equation completely, and we bet on Taijuan Walker not being good and the A's finding their stroke there. So
I'm still trying to think if this Texas line is a trap or not.
You're talking about the being that low?
Just the money line. Texas at minus 117 against a team that went to extras, burned their bullpen, and hasn't announced their starting pitcher yet.
You're seeing that because I've got
it's minor.
I have Texas on the board here. I've got Texas minus minus 117. That has come down. Yeah.
I don't really get that line. I think that's the biggest head scratching line to me.
All the money is coming. It's the movement seems to me to have gone the wrong way.
Giants haven't announced who's pitching, and they just came off an extra innings game. I don't know how they're the line's dropping roughly to, minus 110 on both sides. That doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah, you're juiced a little bit towards the Rangers, but not much. It's 17, 107, and 107. So
that's very odd to me.
It does seem like a trap. That does seem like
I'm passing as a result, but keep an eye on that Texas Giants game because I've talked about in the tutorial how important line movement is. this is one of those games where if the Giants win, I feel like the writing was on the wall based on the lines.
Me, on the other hand, I'm blowing through all those red lights, Scott. I'm going to take the run line on that one.
Okay. Well, run line's a little bit different because that way you're just looking for extra value because you're going for the plus price anyway. So,
right. But you're not picking up much there either. You're only getting a 52 cents of value. Which, Scott, what do you look for on a run line? What do you got a benchmark?
I'd say somewhere north of 60.
Yeah,
maybe 65.
65 for me. I like to see 65 in the 65-70 range. But I'll make an exception here. Although when I had that at the run line, I had the Rangers minus 130. So I'm more tempted to play the money line with the Rangers at minus 117 than I was. But I might as well go in for a penny in for a pound. I think this Giants team is awful. Bullpen's awful, and they're gassed.
Yeah.
So, although it is just the kind of game where you look and you inexplicably you're like everything points one way and it goes the other way. So
that's what the lines are indicating. So I was originally on Texas. I would lean to Texas still, but I'm going to pass because I think this line is really weird. I'm
smarter than the Vegas books, Scott.
That's never it's never backfired for anybody. So
I don't know. These guys are blind. How can they not see this?
I think my three favorite plays on the card, if I really had to break it down, A's team total over is my favorite play.
Okay.
White Sox over team total is my second favorite play.
Okay.
And it sounds like a sucker play, but the Braves money line at minus 126 is my third favorite play.
Yeah, you fade Porcello, buddy. Fade Porcello.
I can't not fade Porcello. They just scored 14 runs.
Yeah. Yep. Got him. All right, man. There you go. We did that in 51 minutes.
Not bad.
Not bad. And
we're gonna have to figure out how to get it to even bigger warp speed, but I don't even know if that's even possible.
So this will be the format, guys. This will be Scott and I just kind of ripping through here, talking
Let
about.
us know if you enjoy it down below because we're kind of trying something new out.
Yes. Please, don't forget to drop us some comments. One of us will respond to you and let us know what you're playing. As always, man, going through all these games. Tell us what you're on. Tell us what we've missed. Tell us if you're biting on those sucker lines too, because there's definitely a couple of fat worms that may have a hook through them here, Scott. So we're going to see what happens on those, and we'll be back to talk about that. Of course, we won't recap every game every day. We will probably give you an overall record. Scott, do you write down your picks?
I haven't been doing that for individual sports. I do it in total for my just ever since I started giving out official picks.
All right. Well,
I don't know how you want to go about doing the lean stuff because I don't know how many of these we're actually going to be playing. So, we're giving out leans on every game. I don't know if you can really keep a record for every game.
Well, I'm going to keep a record for every game. I'm going to see.
Okay. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Because you know what, if I'm on the air, if I'm putting out a pick, it's a pick. That's the way.
That's the point, though. I don't know how many picks we actually put out because we just gave leans on every single game on the card.
I know. Yeah. In reality, I'm probably going to play 3 or 4 of these tops.
Yeah, we'll figure out a scoring system for it. We'll probably just do some recap stuff.
Okay.
But here's what it is.
All right, bud. So yeah, this is going to be our format for today in sports betting. We're still going to be doing our UFC shows. We're still going to be doing our NASCAR shows, and we're going to be doing a little horse racing and esports as well, sprinkled in there. Those will be different shows. Today in sports betting will be Scott and I with the occasional guests going through the entire card. So there you go. All right. Any final thoughts?
No. Hopefully we see some runs from the White Sox and the A's tonight.
Fair enough. All right. Well, for Scott Reichel, for Scott Steen, you guys appreciate you watching. As always, happy Friday, everybody. You made it through another week. Seems like 2020 should be over any day now, but in reality, we're just about halfway done. So 5 months left. I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, till next time, make sure you check out winnersandwhiners.com. Great in-depth articles on all the pieces over there. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, all the cool kids are doing it. Make sure you get in there and get yourself subscribed. We picked up 10 of the ones that we lost already. We're happy to have them back in the fold. We're happy to have them new. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get over there and check out Winners and Whiners. Think about becoming an insider. And yeah, that's about it for me. So you guys, everybody out there, have a great day. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time. All right, take care.